So, what or who inspires you to make music electronically as opposed to, in other different fashions?
Well, first of all, um, I've got you know my first contact with softwares and electronic modification stuff on the computer by 2002 when I did some classes about electroacoustic creations on the university. And my course, I do a composition course, which is a 7-year course, and we have the whole stuff going from counterpoint, which is a 3-year course, and electronic music composition, and instrumental music composition, which both are 3-year courses too. And we got this whole 7-year course stuff. And my, it's not someone who inspires me, but even before I do electronic music, I was already keen on Stockhausen's music, on Gheorghe Ligeti's electronic music, which is not, he didn't do much of electronic music, but it was very inspirational for me. Let me see, in electronic stuff, of course, all the background of rock and roll, going from Black Sabbath and textural guitar researchers, Tony Iommi did, for example, in Black Sabbath's Volume 4 album. He did that FX stuff. And that's one major example, because there's a lot of examples in progressive music stuff using electronic, fabrics.
So it's not all contemporary.
But the most important thing for that question, I would like to say, is that the electronic music making got me in the way that is so plastic, and you have so much liberty to use the fabrics, and continuously modifying and altering and researching, experimenting. That this got me in the guts. I just love that liberty. That's it.
So would you say that to you it's more essentially about being experimental, or is it the electronics themselves as the tool?
Well, that's my goal, not to turn the electronic software progressing stuff as the main thing of my composition. I think that even with the most raw electronic fabrics and altering stuff is just great. You have such a liberty and to do and explore things that I don't even care about who software, which software is upgrading and stuff. Only for live things like PD and Max MSP caught me in this way. It's a tool for you to make music live. Just that. But with the rest of the softwares, you can do with patience many things.
Definitely. Okay. So if you say, let's say a little bit less on the technology aspect, what would your function like for society be of your music? Like,
Well,
what do you hope that your audience will take away from your music, I would say?
well, I like them to be provoked. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you asked me the first time, what was going to be the function of my music?
Yeah.
If is that was social, experimental, or for entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
I think is the three things
Yeah.
together. I really would enjoy to be as social, as experimental, and as pleasurable for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Those three things I really took away from your work, and that's why I specifically brought those up. You know.
Oh, nice, man.
I definitely see how they could they fit into all three categories very well, if not equally. You know. Where do you think your technological experimentation will lead us?
Well, I think that the technological evolution in software and hardware stuff is always going to be a good provocation for new creations. But I I tend to not put this issue as the main issue of
Mm-hmm.
composition in electronic music. I mean, it's good when you have different means and different instruments, and this serves almost for everything, not only electronic music. When you see the evolution of the violin, for example, which is something that occurred on the on the 1970 century.
Mm-hmm.
You understood me?
Yeah.
I just practicing my English here.
Yeah, it's all right.
But you see, when the violin became an instrument that began to speak more louder, than the orchestra or any instrumental band you had together,
Uh-huh.
composers began to write only for the violin and the orchestra, just accompanying, just on the background.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good because then we had the sonata coming, which is a way in which you can write for a solo instrument
Yeah.
and have orchestration accompanying that. And I think that serves for the electronic music, just a means, the evolution is a mean for more creation and more different things
Mm-hmm.
to come.
So you don't see the technology taking over and being technology for the sake of technology. You know what I mean? Like, you see it as a tool, but not necessarily the ends.
Yeah, but at the same time, I see people thinking that the evolution of the technologies bring
Mm-hmm.
that, But in my belief, this is impossible. Well, I think it's not going ever to be the end, because this is a matter of sensibility, and composition for me is mostly something intuitional,
Mm-hmm.
more than rational. Though I think that rational means always tend to be helpful,
Yeah.
because it's just a provocation to your mind, and you all we are always continuously evolution in mind, both
Yeah.
rationally and intuitionally.
Mm-hmm. I want to know about like the types of software that you most often use.
So I I'm very proud of using